What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to another episode of the Dope Sports Podcast, brought to you by DopeContent.com and Dope Content, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, and yes, sir, I am excited because my co-host is back on the screen. As you see, Tony from Get the Table, ladies and gentlemen. We are back.
How you doing?
I forgot he's not in a good mood. He is a Tampa Bay fan. He's not in a good mood right now, but hey, it's all good. It's still good to have him back, regardless, man, of what happened with his team last night and my team. Told you last week, one of us was going to get on here. It was going to be an interesting day because either he was going to be upset or I was going to be upset.
Yeah.
But there's no way to avoid it because both our teams played each other. So, but how's everything going outside of the Buccaneers?
It's going all right. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here. Looking forward to talk some playoff football.
Yeah, man, we got a busy week. Cowboys did their thing. Dak shut the haters up. I can't wait to get into all of that. Then the Chargers blowing a 27-point lead, which was trash. The Jags are, I don't know what to think about the Jaguars, but we'll get into all that. Then you got the Bills, you got the Giants, Bengals. It's a lot to get into, so let's run this intro and we gonna get right into it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We are here. Oh, shoot. I forgot to change the title. I still got the Cowboys Keys to Victory on here.
Keys to Victory.
Yeah,
that
was from the old, video. I forgot to change that. See? Rushing home from work, being rusty. There we go. NFL wild card is what we're talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, let's update that live on stream. We are here. Let's get right into some scores, man. We're going to start with the Seahawks losing to the 49ers 41-23. Brock Purdy, 18 of 30, 332 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, 15 carries, 119 yards. DK Metcalf went off for 10 catches, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns, but they end up losing. Any thoughts on that game?
Seattle had them on the ropes for that first half. They went up at halftime. I think it was at 10-9, something around those lines. I know they were up by 1. I can't remember exactly the score, but they were winning. I think that's 10-9. I think it was the Ravens game. I know they went up into halftime. They were winning. They were looking good. And second half, they were doing good as well. And then they were driving, and then Geno Smith fumbled in the red zone, and that just kind of turned everything around from there. After that, the Niners just kind of dominated, which I think we all expected. I don't think we thought Seattle would win that game. They kept it close the first half, made it interesting for a little bit, and then the Niners kind of just ran away with it. They're looking tough, man. Even with Brock Purdy, he's making the smart decisions. He's surrounded by extreme talent, man, with the McCaffrey and then the tight end Kittle and then the 2 wide receivers. And then plus the defense, like that team is pretty much flawless right now. You got to play a perfect game against the Niners right now. They're out of control, and they're a very scary team right now. So yeah, props to them. Hey, good season from Seattle. Nobody had Seattle making the playoffs.
Exactly.
Nor did they think Geno Smith would have quite the year that he had. So props to them Seahawks with a really, really good year. They hang their heads high this season.
Look, I'm just now looking again. It says NLF, not NFL. What is happening right now? All right, there we go. Jeez, I am
simple fix. There you go.
Yeah, we're starting off rough already, but Yeah, man, the 49ers, I've been saying for a couple of weeks that they are the only team in the NFC that I'm scared of as a Cowboys fan, because I wasn't scared of Philly. I'm not scared of anybody else. The Vikings are frauds. We're going to get into them. I've been saying that. And you said that as well. But yes, the 49ers, man, they looking real dangerous. Deebo Samuel had 133 yards and 1 touchdown on 6 catches. Brandon Ayuk had 73 yards on 3 catches. And again, Christian McCaffrey, that big addition via trade that they got, over here hitting you for 119 yards on 15 carries. His longest rush was 68 yards. Debo's longest catch was 74 yards, man. Geno Smith, he ended the season as the most accurate passer in the NFL this year via NFL rating, which is crazy. But shout out to Geno Smith for that. 25 of 35. It wasn't a bad game. 25 of 35, 253. His rating was a 98.9. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. So, I mean, it wasn't a bad game for Geno. It's just that interception, and I believe you said that fumble.
That fumble was the killer, man.
Yeah, that's really what did it.
Yeah, that was a killer moment right there. Seemed to change the momentum of the whole game.
Yeah.
It was that fumble.
Rocky went on Twitch, said, I keep seeing memes about Brett Maher. Well, you should. All them kicks he missed. Dude, it's crazy because he's a 91% field goal kicker this year, and then he missed 4 straight. Really 5 straight if you want to count the one in Washington the week before, which is just crazy, man. So we got to figure out what's going on with him before the Cowboys move on. But shout out to the 49ers, man. They moved to the divisional round. Once again, back-to-back years, they in the divisional round. This time they are at home, and they will be hosting the winner of the Cowboys Tampa Bay, which we if you watched the game, you know. If you didn't, I don't want to spoil it. We'll get into it.
Yes, sir.
The Jaguars. Oh, jeez. This game made me mad. I'm not even a Chargers fan. The Jaguars come back from 27 down to defeat the Chargers 31-30. Trevor Lawrence had 288 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions as well. Jay Cross said, "Who won?" I didn't see it. Well, you'll find out. You'll find out, Jay Cross. Trevor Lawrence is 28 of 47, 4 interceptions, 288 yards, 4 touchdowns. ETN had 109 yards on the ground for Jacksonville. Everett, the tight end for, I almost said the Clippers. The Chargers had 109 yards and 1 touchdown. Asante Samuel balled out 3 interceptions in the first half. Every time I look at him, I just get mad because I wanted him so bad, and we took Kelvin Joseph in Dallas. Nothing on tape said Kelvin Joseph was better than Asante Samuel, but they took him anyway. And now look what we're doing. Kelvin Joseph didn't even play last night. So, but Asante Samuel's out here getting 3 picks. But hey, whatever. I told you Trevor Lawrence stats list. Justin Herbert, 25-43, 273 yards, 1 touchdown. They didn't have a rushing game at all. 35 yards for Eckler. Kelly had 20 yards. Herbert had 12 yards. They rushed for a total of 67 yards as a team. So, any thoughts on that game?
I don't know, man. I mean, everyone thought the game was over. I mean, I was one of them. I thought that game was over. 27-0 at halftime. Yep. I mean, most teams win up that much. But coaching makes a difference in NFL, and Lucky P makes a big time difference in Jacksonville. And he whatever adjustments he made, whatever he said in that locker room, the Jags came out playing. The Chargers went complacent. They played not to lose. They didn't try to build up that score, and it cost them. I mean, props to the Jacksonville Jaguars for coming back and actually winning the game. Some really, really great play calls by the Jags near the end of the game to get them in field goal range and to win the game. And I mean, the Chargers are getting a lot of backlash, as they should. They just fired their offensive coordinator right now today, which I don't know if he's the answer. I think the coach should be fired if they're interested and go after Peyton. I mean, why not? Go after Sean Payton. But yeah, the Chargers are a mess, seems like. They always are that team that is on the brink of either making the playoffs and they screw it up, or going deep in the playoffs and they screw it up. It's always something with that team. And they got the talent. They got unbelievable talent on that team. The offense is crazy with you got Eckler and you got Mike Williams.
Yep.
You got Keenan Allen. And then, of course, you got Herbert. And then you got their coach playing Mike Williams in a meaningless week 17 game, week 18, whatever it is. And he gets hurt and he's out for the game. So that hurt them. So it's just like the Chargers make bonehead,
which was stupid
decisions, bonehead mistakes. Seems all the time. And they just can't get over themselves at this point. And I feel bad for them because Herbert's a great young player, and you're wasting his years away with these type of mistakes in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's crazy. Everybody calling for Mike McCarthy's job if he would have lost last night, but this guy in LA just gets to keep effing up and beating themselves. And
well, I think the thing with McCarthy is not so much that he's a bad coach. It's more that Jerry Jones has a short leash, you know. And with Sean, what I know, and that ain't McCarthy's fault. And with Sean Payton being out there for grabs, I mean, you can't blame him for maybe wanting to fire McCarthy and going after Sean Payton. But I like McCarthy. I think McCarthy's a great coach. But I think that's the only reason why he gets so much backlash.
Answer this,
in my opinion.
What has Sean Payton done that Mike McCarthy hasn't done?
I mean, I hear you on that. They've both won Super Bowls. They both have had pretty successful careers as coaches, but I think this Sean Payton has this type of hype behind him, and everyone thinks he's like this mastermind and
overrated,
this great coach. Like I look, I've never thought he was that great. See, I'm a Saints hater, so I've never been a Payton fan. Yeah. He's been surrounded by unbelievable talent. You know, Breeze, Kamara, the defense of the Saints has been tremendous as well the last couple of years. So it's just like, I don't really know how really Sean Payton is until let's see what he does on a different team. But he's going to be handed a pretty talented team depending on where he goes, you know. But yeah, I see what like Jeff said. Jerry always wanted Sean Payton, which is true. He's always wanted Payton, and now is his best chance to get him. I would not be surprised if McCarthy still gets fired.
Nah, that ain't happening.
Even if he makes it to the whatever, I wouldn't be surprised.
That's not happening. It'll be stupid for him to do it. It'll be stupid for him to do it. Let me see if I can pull up their record real quick. Let me see. I can pull up their record real quick. So yeah, let's go over overall record of Mike McCarthy and Sean Payton. Sean Payton is 152-89. He has a .631 winning percentage, and this is his career. He has a 9-8 record in the postseason. Let's see, he's made the playoffs a total of 9 seasons with 4 consecutive division titles, one Super Bowl, reached the NFC Championship game twice in his career, winning one, of course. Coached the future Hall of Fame quarterback, which is Drew Brees. Outside of the Super Bowl season, has never won multiple playoff games in a single season, right? Mike McCarthy, 143-92 and 2 record. That's a .608 winning percentage. Has made the playoffs a total of 10 seasons, including 4 consecutive division titles. Similar. Has a 10-9 record in the postseason. Reached the NFC Championship game 4 times, winning once, won a Super Bowl. Coached the future Hall of Fame, which in Aaron Rodgers. Outside of the Super Bowl season, he has only one other season winning multiple playoff games. What's the difference? What's the difference?
Yeah, I'm here. I hear you. I don't know. I really can't put my finger on it. Like, I mean, the hype around Sean Payton is what's grabbing teams, and he's been known as a mastermind, a genius as a coach. So can't blame people wanting him. Now, I don't know what Dallas will do if they lose next week or whatever have you, but Jerry's always wanted Sean Payton, so I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if he fires McCarthy.
Yeah,
even after making this kind of a deep run in the playoffs. And just right, question is where Dan Quinn goes, because that dude's going to be a hot commodity as well.
He's gonna be the same as he was last year. All this talk. Dan Quinn's going here. Dan Quinn is going to Denver. All that last year, and Jerry threw that money at him and kept him here. Jerry's gonna throw that money at him again. It's just up to Quinn if he accepted or not. I mean, you got to think of the situations, especially if the Cowboys. Now, I don't know. I think he stays one more year, but we'll see. Because Jerry loves Quinn, and Jerry is known for throwing money at assistant coaches. And you get to sit up in the press box and call defensive plays only. That's all you got to worry about. You getting paid the same as the head coach, and you won't have that same amount of pressure as the head coach. I'll do that all day.
Yeah.
So on a winning team. So, but yeah, the Chargers blow 27-point lead to the freaking Jaguars. Jaguars with another comeback at home. It's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
All this props to Doug Peterson.
Yeah.
He came in there and Jags didn't look great at the beginning, but they turned their season around, made the playoffs, and got a playoff win. So props to Dougie P.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I got to hand claps Doug Peterson. I'll give it to him. I don't, he's a former Philly coach. I don't like him that much, but I'll give it to him. The only coach to take him to the Super Bowl, so I really don't like him for that reason. But hey, it is what it is. Moving on, the Miami Dolphins lose a nail biter to the Buffalo Bills, 34-31 in Buffalo. Josh Allen, he's the best in football. 23 of 39, 352 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles with 1 loss. But, he don't turn the ball over. It's only Dak that does it. Devin Singletary, 48 yards. James Cook, 39 yards. Josh Allen, 20 yards on the ground. Then we had Skylar Thompson, the third-string quarterback for Miami, 18 of 45, 220.
Jesus.
2 interceptions and 1 touchdown. His QBR was a 22.6. Josh Allen QBR was a 26.1. Jeff Wilson Jr. had 23 yards on 10 carries. They rushed as a team for 42 yards on 20 carries. Miami did. Tyreek Hill had 7 catches, 69 yards, no touchdowns. Waddle had 3 catches, 44 yards. Diggs went off for 114 yards. Gabe Davis had 113 yards on 7 and 6 catches. So, yeah, Buffalo moves on. They barely escaped. I've been telling y'all all season they are flawed. I don't believe in Buffalo. They're losing their next game. Any thoughts on this game?
I mean, it's the third time playing Miami. So, it's a divisional opponent. Those type of games are going to be tough.
The third-string quarterback.
Yeah, and I hear you on that.
6 on the Jets.
Props to Miami. They played a very, I want to say great game, but they let it all out and almost won the game. They have someone else behind center, they might pull that game off. But the Bills are a tricky team. I feel like. I think Josh Allen forces too much a lot on some plays, and that's what makes him have picks. The fumbles, I mean, you can't really put on him too much because a lot of them are blindsided sacks and he's losing the ball. One of them, they stripped him. So I don't know exactly how to rate or say how these Bills are going to play in the playoffs. I would be a little bit worried as a Bills fan, especially playing Cincinnati, who are a really, really good team and who have beaten the Chiefs, the team that you may play next round if you make it there. I would be a little bit nervous. I think Allen needs to kind of stop with the gunslinging too much and kind of be more safe on his throws, not try to force too much. But yeah, I think the Bills are still going to make it to the Super Bowl. That's my pick. I think they'll make it to the Super Bowl still, but they need to play a way better game than they did against Miami. Way better.
Look, Jay Cross, and we were about to agree, and it's funny because you said gunslinging as well, but Jay Cross made a point that I was just about to say when you was done talking, and he said gunslinger Allen is why Miami was in the game, and that's facts.
True.
The only reason Miami stayed in the game was because of Josh Allen almost gave him that game.
The turnovers, The
Nightbot came in and saw Gun and deleted the message.
Wow.
And gave him a warning. Said you a warning. Gave him a warning. So, but I get what you said, Jay Cross. I saw it. It was Josh Allen keeping them in the game, and that's why it's just funny to me. Everybody praises him so much, and I'm like, he's good. He is very good, but he's not what y'all say he is. He is very flawed. Like, he got a strong arm and he can run, and he got 2 cold receivers that can bail him out. Like,
I will say this: he doesn't get criticized as much as other quarterbacks do, from what I've seen. Like, I don't watch a lot of those shows, so I don't know if he does or not. He is, Jeff. I agree. He is the Favre of this generation. He likes to force things in tight spaces where he shouldn't probably be throwing. He likes to just launch it down the field, thinking his receivers can still catch the ball. He needs to play a little bit more conservative at times when he likes to force things. He likes those big plays, and sometimes it costs him, like it did against Miami almost.
Yeah.
So he just needs to watch out against this Cincinnati team. If they go up, try running the ball a little bit. You got decent running backs. It's not like you don't have nobody back there. You can run the ball a little bit and try to run clock a little bit instead of trying to always constantly throw the ball.
Yeah, so the Bills barely escaped. Like I said, they are flawed. They are a flawed team to me. I don't believe in the Bills. I never didn't believe in them all season. It sticks. It sticks. A team that's been frauds all season. Moving on. Speaking of flawed and frauds, the Vikings lose to the Giants, 31-24. Yeah. I think we all predicted. Well, me and you predicted this one. Here, I can't remember what the chat did, but we predicted this one here. And Daniel Jones goes off 24 of 35, 301 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. He was running all over the place as well, man. He looked like Vic. They call him Vanilla Vic, and that's exactly what he looked like. 17 carries, 78 yards. Saquon had 9 carries, 53 yards, 2 touchdowns. QBR was 81.2 for Daniel Jones. Kirk Cousins didn't actually have a bad game.
Yeah, he didn't.
31 of 39, 273 yards, 2 touchdowns, QBR at 85.2. It's actually not a bad game. But Kirk Cousins did the typical Kirk Cousins thing, and it's 4th and 8. You throw the ball 3 yards to your freaking tight end, bruh. And expecting him to get it.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking there. I don't know. And the funny thing was, they asked him in the press conference about that play, and he said, but he talked about a play before then that he should have, the mistake that he did. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. I don't know if he thought Hawkinson could just run over 2 or 3 defenders like that and just get the first down. That was a dumb play. But Cousins didn't have an overall bad game.
Right.
I mean, Cousins played a pretty good game against the Giants.
Yeah.
It just couldn't stop the Giants.
Yeah.
That's all they couldn't do. They couldn't stop the Giants on key plays. The Vikings defense was awful. They've been awful all season. Yeah. I really cannot stress enough that I was on the Vikings train for most of the season till
not me.
The last few games where they showed flawedness and they showed that they were not as good as their record is. And yeah, I don't know what Cousins was doing. I don't know why he didn't try to get Jefferson involved in that last drive. It was just a bad performance for the Vikings all around. They should be ashamed of themselves because I think honestly the Lions are a better team. They should have probably been in there over them, if you're getting my honest opinion. But that doesn't matter because they had a better record, of course. But yeah, the Vikings probably got very lucky this season. Like Jeff said, they I think I saw like a stat. They were the first playoff team ever to have like a negative point difference against their opponents and during the season.
They won all close games and they got blown out by multiple teams.
Yeah, which is horrible. So like, they were a flawed team. I think I got on that train early and then realized mid-season that they weren't as great as I thought they were. And it showed against the Giants. But props to the Giants, man. The Giants played a really, really good game. And Dable, whatever the coach's name is, however you pronounce it. That dude is a monster coach. Great hire by the Giants to get him. By far coach of the year, if you're asking me. He's turned that organization around. They believe in his coaching. They want to win for him. And I'm happy for him, especially because he, I think, got a lot of slack by Giants fans and the New York media for him being signed by them. He's like this kind of nobody. Bills offensive coordinator. Nobody really knew who he was. But goes in there. He's changed Daniel Jones. I mean, he's done a lot of great things for the Giants.
The best thing that happened to Daniel Jones was getting Jason Garrett out of the OC position.
Yeah.
The best thing that happened to him. He wouldn't let him run when he had him. He's like, dude, this guy can run. He's very athletic. Let him use his feet. Saquon was hurt last year, but when Saquon come back, let him and Saquon kind of be what Vic and Warwick Dunn was back in the day, kind of what Lamar and Dobbins were in Baltimore. Let them run the ball, then do quick passes, and then you set them up for down the field passes. So they got rid of Jason Garrett. That's exactly what they did with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones looked like a star. That was his breakout game. That was his come out game. Once again, 24-35, 301 in the air, 2 touchdowns, 78 yards on the ground. I mean, he led the team in everything. Like, who is Isaiah Hodgins? Do you know who that is?
I know he was on the Bills last year. That's all I know about him. But a lot of people are hyped about him too. Like I have no idea who Hodgins is. And imagine if the Giants had like a actual
Sterling Shepard was still
receiver. Like a star receiver. Like what did the Eagles do last year? They didn't really have a wide receiver. They go out and get AJ Brown, and look how much of a difference he's made. Imagine if the Giants were able to pick up someone in the offseason that is a really, really good, number one wideout for them. That could really be a game changer for them. And they're doing this without really anybody. So,
yeah,
other than Barkley. So, props to them.
Yeah, because Sterling Shepard got injured in the first Cowboys game. He was out for the season. Rome, so I can't believe Tony actually still.
I'm a professional, Rome. All right, I'm a professional.
Yes. Sterling Shepard was out at early in the season, so he's done. Darius Slayton.
Oh man,
yeah, he
felt horrible for him, man. Dropping that pass where he could have got an easy first down, and you could tell he was heartbroken on the sidelines.
He's
felt
not
bad for him.
He's not living up to the hype that he had coming in, being drafted to New York. Richie James is decent, but he's a role player. Isaiah Hodgins came out of nowhere, had 105 yards. What's the guy they gave the big contract to? It's been trashed. It came from Detroit. What's the wide receiver name?
Galladay.
Yeah, no catches. Been trashed. They showed the stat. Let me pull it up. He has 4 catches on the whole year.
Wow.
And he has that big contract. And last year, I think it was even worse. I'm gonna have to pull up his last year's stat, but I think it's even worse. Justin Jefferson, though, moving on to Minnesota. Let me see what Jefferson did. 7 catches, 47 yards. He was double teamed the whole game. The Giants told you, they was like, look, you might beat us, but it ain't gonna be because of Justin Jefferson. They doubled him the whole game and said, if y'all go beat us, somebody else is gonna have to do it. They couldn't get it done. Shout out to the Giants, man. I got homies from New York. They were nervous the whole week. They was nervous the whole game. I'm texting them. I'm a Cowboys fan, texting Giants fans. Relax, y'all gonna win. And now
I think, out of all the games this weekend, 2 games I had kind of figured, I was for sure knew there was going to be the outcome, and that was the Giants, Vikings, and the Bucks, Cowboys. Like, I felt that the Giants were just a better team. They're playing better. Mm-hmm. The Vikings are just not who we thought they were. And the defense is horrible. It was a bad matchup for the Vikings. And, I was watching someone this yesterday morning. think it might have been Rex Ryan or something. He said anybody who made the playoffs would have loved to go to Minnesota and play.
Yep.
And I think I agree. Like, their defense is trash. Like, I'd rather if the Bucks had played the Vikings, you know, because I think they would have won.
Yeah.
But it's just matchups, man. And the Giants, I thought, matched up very well against the Vikings.
Yeah, if Scam Likely was an NFL team, it'd be the Vikings. But I was texting them, and they was all quiet. Man, the Giants ain't gonna do this. Daniel Jones ain't this and that. Then they won, right? You know what they did after me hyping them up and making them feel confident? They started texting me last night talking crap about the Cowboys. I was like, all right, man.
Nice.
All right. And I was like, cool, whatever, do your thing. It's all fine. But moving on to Baltimore Ravens, my Ravens, man.
Oh, man.
Jeez. They actually made it a better game than what I thought they would do, actually, man.
They should have won.
Yeah.
They should have won that game.
They lost 24-17. Joe Burrow, 23 of 32, 209 yards, 1 touchdown. Tyler Huntley, 17 of 29, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. J.K. Dobbins only got the ball 13 times with 62 yards. Huntley had the ball 54 yards. I'm sorry, 9 carries and 54 yards. Gus Edwards had it 12 times, 39 yards. Joe Mixon only had 39 yards. I mean, they didn't rush at all in Cincinnati. They only had 51 total yards. Jamar Chase, 9 catches, 84 yards, 1 touchdown. T. Higgins, 4 catches, 37 yards. Hayden Hurst, 4 catches, 45 yards. So the defense did that job. Mark Andrews had 5 catches and 73 yards. J.K. Dobbins had 4 catches and 43 yards. But the play of the game was at the goal line where Huntley did a quarterback sneak. And he instead of just going through like everybody else been doing all season, he decides to jump over the pile. And as soon as he did it, I just got mad, bro. I was just sitting here mad. Because I knew he went, first of all, I knew he wasn't going to make it. Second, it was a good feeling that the ball was going to come out. And then when I saw dude running, I was, okay. I walked away from the TV.
Most quarterbacks that do that type of jump, they'll point the ball over the red zone.
Yeah.
Are tall quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Huntley is not a tall quarterback. Like, for him to try and do that was just foolish. Because, again, like you said, even if the ball did not get taken away, he was short, big time. Like, not even near the pylon. So, like Jeff says in the chat, like, you have 3 capable quarterbacks. J.K. Dobbins,
running backs,
is one of their best running backs that they had. He's playing a really solid game. And you're telling me you could not give him the ball not once in that goal line situation? Like, or do a read option or something more creative than doing something foolish like that.
And he was pissed.
I don't blame him. Like, that is just a foolish play. And I don't understand the thinking about that. I feel like there's so many other things they could have done in that situation. If you have Lamar Jackson, sure. Lamar is able to do that, stretch out and do that type of a play. Not Huntley. Like, that dude has not played. He's just coming off an injury. And you're asking that man to do something like that. That was just a foolish play. They should have ran the ball or did something different than doing something like that. Like, that changed the whole game. That was a game changer. Like, that should not happen. You shouldn't have the ball in the 1 and have a fumble return all the way to the opposite side of the field for a touchdown. That's just ridiculous, embarrassing. And I've seen, like Jeff said, I've seen a lot of people, crying for Greg Roman to get fired.
He should have been fired mid-season, man. I've been asked for his head for a long time now.
There's a lot. I've been hearing a lot of there's a lot of heat in the locker room. Like the players are kind of on one side or the other when it comes with this Lamar Jackson thing, and everyone's already saying Lamar's out. It's just like it's definitely interesting to see what happens in Baltimore this coming off season, because if you're Lamar Jackson, you're going to get paid. You'll probably end up most likely getting tagged by the Ravens. But what have the Ravens done for him?
Nothing.
Like, what have they done to get him some more weapons in Baltimore? They got a great tight end. They got an up-and-coming solid running back in Dobbins. But what have they done for him on the wide receiver core? Like, there's nobody they have. There's no one on that team that I would be confident in to throw the ball to in a clutch situation. So they need to do something else out there to help Lamar and not just make Lamar be the number one. Just say, Lamar, go out there and do your thing. Like, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing from the players, they sticking up for Lamar. At least all the important players, Calais, Campbell's, Dobbins, and all of them.
Yeah, Dobbins calling out the team, and
yeah, he went off saying, I'm pissed off. I'm tired of not getting the ball. I should be the guy. I didn't get the ball in 2 red zone possessions. He said, I'm better than that. I'm having a good game. You don't get me involved. I don't like it. If we would have had Lamar, we would have won. So, like, he is not happy. And he's like, I should be getting the ball more. Only had 13 carries yet again for 62 yards. He averaged 4.8 a carry. And they only gave it to him 13 times. So,
I don't understand that.
Mark Andrews had 73 yards. Then you had DeMarcus Robinson, 49. Like, Mark Andrews was just second. I'm sorry, J.K. Dobbins was just second leading receiver as well. So
yeah, they don't have anybody, man. They're another team that needs a star receiver. They need someone out there that can create space, not put so much pressure on Lamar Jackson, because that's what it is. Lamar Jackson has a lot of pressure on him because he doesn't have anybody.
And the defense is set. They got a defense. It's just they don't put nobody on offense to help Lamar. But people are mad at Lamar for not playing when he's not 100% healthy on a contract season. Yeah, like, why would he go out there and do that?
The Michael Vick comment. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw that trade. I saw it live.
Put a brace on it and go out there. Are you kidding me, man? Like, did you not watch what happened to
RG3?
Yeah. He put a brace on it, and it cost him his career. Like, he's not dumb. Lamar Jackson is not dumb. If it was a Super Bowl, maybe he does. Maybe he puts a brace on it and go out there and try and play. But this is a contract year. You can't blame this man. Yeah, a wild card game where, it's the Bengals. It's a divisional rival, a team that you've played already, a team that you could beat possibly.
And you're not favored.
It's just not. That was just a dumb comment by Michael Vick, and he should be ashamed of himself for saying shit like that, because he's, again, I'm sure people came at Lamar for not playing after that Vick comment, adding more fuel to the fire.
I don't blame him at all, and y'all know I love the Ravens. That's my second favorite team, but I'm standing with Lamar on this. I didn't blame him at all. I wasn't mad either. You take away, look, you bring in Deshaun Jackson to at least give you speed at wide receiver after Bateman got hurt, and then you cut him right before the playoffs, and then you bring back Sammy Watkins, who's washed. He's more washed than Deshaun Jackson. So, like, and you expect Lamar to go out here and just run the typical offense, and he's not 100% with his leg, and he's taking a risk of just like, no, I'm not doing that either.
One hit it's over.
Yeah,
it could be over. One wrong step, one bad turn, it could be over for Lamar. So it's easy for Michael Vick to say that when he's not playing in the NFL anymore, or he's not playing against the type of NFL players that we got today.
Right.
Who hit hard, who are faster than a lot of quarterbacks. So, like, come on, man. Like, adding more fuel to the fire after that comment, I think that was just not fair to Lamar Jackson.
And the Ravens made it worse because you don't pay Lamar, but you'll pay Roquan Smith, a linebacker, the highest paid linebacker contract in history, right before the playoffs. So Lamar's looking at that too, like, oh, you'll pay him, which the value of a linebacker is nowhere near what it used to be, especially compared to a quarterback now. But you'll pay him the highest, position, the highest paid linebacker contract in history, but you won't pay me. I'm your quarterback. I'm your franchise. which Roquan is he's a hell of a player. He's been doing a great job on defense. I love Roquan Smith and what he's been doing. Like, he helped turn the defense around this season. But if I'm the quarterback, I'm the franchise, this is my team, my city, I'm the former MVP of the league, and you don't pay me, but you're paying all these other guys, no, I'm not with it. So I agree with Lamar. We'll see what happens with that. Lamar might end up in Miami if they don't do right in Baltimore. No, he ain't going to Tampa. He ain't going to Tampa. Well, then again, Tampa did fire Leftwich today.
Rumors are there. We'll get to that one.
Yeah, so speaking of Tampa, the Dallas Cowboys take out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Might as well call it the main event the way ESPN was acting yesterday. They did 2, not 1, but 2 live first take episodes from Tampa like it was the Super Bowl.
It basically was the main event. You got America's team versus Brady. So it basically was.
But 2 first take episodes in the same day, live in Tampa. Like, come on, bruh. This is what I don't like. Like, they treat the Cowboy anyway, but people get mad at us.
Hey, listen. I am not a Cowboys fan at all. Look, I live in San Antonio, Texas. Probably the second highest Cowboys fan base in America. I'm sick of the Cowboys. All I hear about on the sports radio is Cowboys.
Yeah.
But listen, you gotta understand their point of view. It's a ratings grab.
Yeah.
It's just a ratings grab. Dallas is the most popular team in the NFL. And they're gonna get people to watch. When you got someone like Stephen A. Smith going out there and playing his role as the bad guy and
Michael Irvin.
talking shit to Cowboys fans and talking shit to Dak's dad and to Michael Irvin, and you got him wearing Bucks gear. Like, that's just ratings. So I don't blame ESPN for doing that. I feel like this game was a big game only because of Brady and being Dallas. If it's Tampa Bay, let's just hypothetical here. If it's Tampa, Minnesota, do you think they're playing the Monday Night Football? Hell no. It's whoever they knew Dallas is the ratings grab. So whoever Dallas was going to play, they're going to be the main event. They're going to be on that Monday Night Football game. It could have been Dallas and the Giants, and they would have been on Monday Night Football.
It should have been Sunday night. I don't like that Monday night, considering we have to go to San Francisco on Sunday, and they play Saturday.
I've heard a lot of people on the Cowboys fans talk about that they're not happy that they have a short week.
They get 2 days extra.
San Francisco. I've seen people talk about that. So I don't blame ESPN. Is maybe 2 live shows a bit too much?
Yes. They don't even do that for the Super Bowl.
I don't blame them for doing it.
Yeah, they trashed me. Talk about something. What else do you possibly have to talk about? You literally talked about the Cowboys all week, and then you do a 2-minute segment on Lamar. You do a 2-minute segment on the Chargers and a 2-minute segment on the Bills, and then you might sneak in a LeBron segment. And then 3-hour show is nothing but Cowboys. You saying the same thing over and over with different guests. You're going from Dan Orlowski to Marcus Spears to Keyshawn Johnson, and you're saying the same thing over and over. And then you look like the idiot because everything you said didn't happen. So Stephen A. Smith, Colin Cowherd, whatever his name is, Shannon Sharp, who else was talking noise? Nick Wright, and what's his name? Broussard? Is it Broussardis? Chris Broussard?
Whatever happened to him?
He's on Fox Sports with Nick Wright. That show.
Oh, okay.
Shady McCoy, Emmanuel, what's his name? Oko, whatever.
That dude gets a lot of heat, man.
Acho, all of them can eat a D. All of them can eat a D. Because they've been talking super hard. They've been talking super spicy all week. What up, Rob? They was talking spicy all week. And then you got the so-called Cowboys fans coming to my page and my stuff that I'm not even, you know what I'm saying? I'm just typing regular status on Facebook. And they so-called Cowboys fans, but they come crying and complaining and being babies. Oh, Dak this, Dak that. You heard what Stephen A. said? F Stephen A. Smith. I don't care what he said. That's entertainment. That's TV. Shady McCoy, Dak his ass. Your mama. How about that? Y'all coming over here trying to believe all that stuff that they're saying, and I'll keep telling y'all that's entertainment. That is the WWE/AEW of sports media. Don't listen to none of that crap, man. Y'all, they take it too seriously, and they want to argue with me about what we say on our show.
I mean, Dak played the fewest games in the league and had the most turnovers.
That's
so that you could say something like that. Yeah, he didn't perform well in the regular season.
He also had the highest rated offense as well.
But to say, I'm a Dak. I like Dak. I'm a Dak fan. I would love to have Dak as my quarterback. But yeah, there's some negatives to his game. Sure, I mean, every quarterback has negatives to their game.
Exactly.
And he did not, perform well, great in the regular season. I think we can all agree to that. Like I said, he played the fewest games and had the most interceptions. But to disregard any of the positive things that he has done, it's just not fair to Dak. And
that's what they do.
Tonight or yesterday night was his come out game. He played unbelievable. I think he played as perfect as he could play. Maybe one play he should have thrown a pick and it went through the defender's hand for a touchdown, which was unfortunate for me. But he played an unbelievable game. The play where I think it was Gallup who caught the touchdown, where he went out of bounds but reestablished himself because the ball hit the player's hand.
Yeah, I think
went right through Murphy Budding's hands for a touchdown.
I don't remember him getting his hands on that though.
Yeah, it went right through his hands, and he caught the pass.
Yeah, the way it floated out of Dak's hands, I thought it was a pick. The way it was floating up there, but
yeah, Dak played a great game. A flawless game in my opinion. Like, you couldn't ask for a quarterback to play any better. And it's props on Kellen Moore on a great offensive strategy, and shitty on the Bucs for not getting out of fucking zone when the Cowboys are just eating you up. Like, they're eating them up in the zone, and they're just not and refusing to get out of it. Like, you don't understand as a Bucs fan how frustrating it is to have a coach who's so goddamn hard-headed with his ways as a defensive-minded coach to not realize what he's doing is not working.
We had Jason Garrett for 10 years.
Right. He's just trying to keep doing it. Like, the game plan is the game plan. I'm not going to change it regardless if we're getting eat up or not. That's what it seemed like. The offense of the Bucs is wretched. I love Byron Leftwich about 2 years ago. Even last year, I actually liked Byron Leftwich. But whatever's changed between then and now, it's just unbelievable. His offensive play calling is stale. It's like very, very repetitive and very, very predictable. It's either a screen pass or a dive up the middle or a play action pass. There's no creativity to his offensive game. And a little bit it is on Brady. I'll admit that. Brady, to me, I love Brady. He brought a lot of success to the Bucs. Brought us a Super Bowl and in 3 years almost got us into the NFC Championship last year. Other than, stupid Bowles calling an all-out blitz that cost us the game. It's time for him to go. Like, it's time for us to move on from Brady. Brady is out there. He's scared to get hit. He doesn't want to get hit. That's why he threw that pick in the end zone. Because he didn't want to get sacked. He didn't want to get hit. So he throws the ball and gets it picked. He just gives up on plays, throws them to the ground. He just is so scared to get hit nowadays that he just makes bad decisions. He's not who he once was. And I respect the shit out of Brady, though. Like I said, he brought us a lot of success. But it's time to move on. The game is passing up Brady. And I rarely watch sports shows in the morning because I feel like it's kind of, they have their own narrative. But I was watching Get Up this morning. And they made a great point that a lot of these quarterbacks in the league now are very athletic.
Mm-hmm.
You got Jalen Mills. Hurts.
Hurts.
Yeah, Hurts. Shoot, not Jalen Mills. Jalen Hurts. You got Trevor Lawrence. You got Brock Purdy. You got Dak. They're all able to run. If need be, they're able to get out of the pocket, make a play on their own. Brady can't do that. Kirk Cousins can't do that. Matt Ryan can't do that. Quarterbacks like those are soon to be out of this league because the game is passing them by. And that's what the Bucs need. They need a quarterback who is able to create a play when things go to hell. And that's what costs us. A lot of those plays where the Cowboys are getting back there and rushing the quarterback, I would have loved to have a guy like Lamar or someone to be able to get out of that situation and get us a couple of yards instead of just throwing the ball away. You know, and that's what Brady does a lot. So the game plan from the Bucs last night was bad. I knew they were going to lose, but I expected a little bit of better effort from them. And props to the Cowboys. They deserve to move on. And we'll see what happens next week against them Niners. They got a tough task against them.
Dak Prescott, 25 of 33, 305 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 0 interceptions, Dak haters. 96.5 QBR, Dak haters and Dan Orlovsky. Tom Brady threw the ball 66 times, which is ridiculous. He's 45 years old. He should not be throwing the ball 66 times. 35 of 66, 351 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 24.1 QBR. Rashad White had 41 yards on the ground. Fournette had 11 on the ground. 52 total yards rushing. Tony Pollard, 77 yards. Zeke, 27 yards. Dak, 24 yards on the ground. 128 yards total. Dak did have a touchdown on the ground as well. Chris Godwin, 10 catches, 85 yards. Dalton Schultz, 7 catches, 95 yards. CeeDee Lamb, 4 catches, 68 yards. Julio Jones, turning back the clock a little bit. 7 catches, 74 yards. Mike Evans, 6 catches, 74 yards. Gallup had 5 catches, 46 yards. And yeah, man, the Dallas Cowboys got that win. 24 ranked defense. Who are you talking about? You talking about the
Bucs?
The Bucs?
Absolutely, the Bucs. Yeah, Bucs are garbage on defense, man. They're not great. They have talent.
Losing Shaq Barrett hurt y'all.
Losing Shaq Barrett hurt tremendously. Like the pass rush was non-existent once we lost Shaq Barrett. I will not deny that. But the defense in that secondary, whatever happened to, and I love this man. Whatever happened to Devin White from last year to this year, I don't know. He's just not the same player.
Yeah.
Them having Winfield, who is a fucking safety, guarding corners. Like, what are they doing? Like, what are they doing? They have him guarding CeeDee Lamb. They have him guarding Gallup. Are you fucking out of your mind?
Winfield is nice though, but look, Cowboys
Winfield
have to play.
Is a safety. He's not a fucking corner though.
Cowboys have to move safeties.
To do too much.
Cowboys had to move their safeties to the slot last night, so they had.
I understand that, but they have this man playing that position when he was striving as a safety because they want Winfield to blitz. They want him to be a blitzer. And I understand that, but there's concepts that you can put into a playbook, Todd Bowles, that you can make him a blitzer and still keep him at the safety position. And exactly what Rob said, who had the big play against Winfield last year when it mattered? Cooper fucking Kupp.
Cooper did.
And they had him one-on-one with Winfield. Like, what are they thinking? Like, this is not thinking. This is asking a lot from someone who doesn't play a corner position. Like, I don't understand the mindset, the thinking behind that, and it's just stupid and foolish. And I hate that Todd Bowles is gonna be there another year. I understand that you can't just fire a coach after 1 year, but yes, you can.
Houston do it all the time.
And I understand that he didn't have the same amount. He didn't have the coaching staff of his choosing. He got Bruce Arians' coaching staff. I understand that. But again, what the fuck is the difference going to make? It's not gonna make a difference.
Hey,
Anthony Nelson, who is a
Yeah.
fucking defensive lineman. They have him out there in the second there.
yeah.
Like, they just
Trying to get too fancy on that blitz call on that play.
it's just stupid. It's just I get it. Todd Bowles is a great coordinator. He's not a great coach. And we saw that with the Jets. And we're seeing it now with the fucking Bucks. And he's going to bring in his own coaching staff. And nothing's going to change.
Yeah, I just want to bring something up. Because I did my rant and stuff yesterday. Doing a watch along. But I want to bring this up again. Just for the people that missed it yesterday. Let me find it. Look where Dan Orlowski had Dak Prescott ranked coming into the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to keep reminding y'all of where Dak Prescott was ranked coming into the playoffs from Dan Orlowski. Number 12. Let's see who's ahead of him. Daniel Jones at the time never won a playoff game. Trevor Lawrence at that time never won a playoff game or been in the playoffs. Daniel Jones ain't never been in the playoffs. Geno Smith ain't never been in the playoff game. Kirk Cousins ain't never won a playoff game. Justin Herbert has never been to the playoffs or won a playoff game. But if you want to put Herbert in front of Dak, I'll give you a slight edge. Whatever. Lamar Jackson didn't even play. Tom Brady's 45 years old. He hasn't been looking great all season. Jalen Hurts, MVP candidate, I get it, but he ain't never won a playoff game either. Right? Only people you got behind Dak is Brock Purdy and Skylar Thompson, who are both third string quarterbacks. Disrespect. Bruh. So now since that happened, let's pull up the actual QBR for all these quarterbacks week 1. Number 10, Skylar. I'm sorry, number 12, Skylar. 22.6 QBR. So he belongs at the bottom. Brady, 24.1 QBR. Josh Allen. Where's Josh Allen on this list? Number 3. He's 26.1 QBR. Trevor Lawrence, 31.6 QBR. Joe Burrow, 43.7 QBR. Herbert, 45.9. Geno Smith, 65.8. Hutley, he has 74 QBR. Daniel Jones, 81.2. Cousins, 85.2. Purdy, 89.5. Brock Purdy is number 13 on this list. Who's number 1 in QBR? Dak Prescott, 91.6. Bruh. So Dan Orlowski, E to D.
Shut up, bitch.
Bruh. That's all I gotta say.
To be fair. All right, let's just be fair here. This is coming into the playoffs. Entering the playoffs.
Don't matter.
Now, on that list, do I think he's higher than some of those other quarterbacks? Yes. But I think he's going with the mindset of how he's played coming into the playoffs. And I think the Washington game really, that's what screwed up those rankings as well.
Did you
I think
see
they're
the play
playing it
call
off
in
the
that
Washington
game?
game, though. No, I didn't really watch that game. I'm not going to lie to you.
They did. It was like a preseason game the way they called it.
But I think that is why they put him so low. It's because of that Washington game. Because he played bad. He played horrible.
You got one.
That's the only reason. That's the only thing I can think of.
Let me see. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 quarterbacks on that list never won a playoff game. But Dak is number 12 on that list. Coming into the playoffs, talking about the playoffs. Cousins had as many playoff wins as Cousins. You mean Dak had as many playoff wins as Cousins is what you mean, Jay Cross? But whatever. I'm not going to rant today. Dak did what he did. Hopefully he can do it again next week. All this Mike McCarthy should be fired if they lost. You're stupid. People are stupid. Stephen A. Smith, you're an idiot. And anybody else that thought that he should have been fired, you're dumb. This man just won 24 out of, 24-10 in his last 2 years in the regular season. Not to mention, he lost Dak for 5 weeks this year. He lost Michael Gallup at the end of last year. And the beginning of this year, he wasn't playing. T.Y. Hilton just got signed a couple of weeks ago. Tyron Smith didn't play up until what, week 13? That's your Hall of Fame left tackle. Then when he came back, Terrence Steele, your starting right tackle, ended his season. Jordan Lewis ended his season on an interception earlier in the year. Anthony Brown ended his season early in the year. That's your top 2 out of 3 cornerbacks.
No, I hear what you're saying. Like, I don't disagree with you.
No, I'm not talking to you. I told you yesterday, my rant ain't gonna be towards you. It's towards all these idiots that's been talking spicy and hitting me up and blowing my phone up, listening to Stephen A. Smith and them.
They're just Dak haters, man. Like, what I've noticed a lot is mostly the Cowboy fans that are Dak haters are the ones that are Romo lovers. That's my.
I was a Romo lover too.
Opinion on it.
Like, get over it.
That everyone blames Dak for Romo losing his job. Everyone holds Dak to a higher standard because of how Romo was taken out. That is just what I see. So I would take what Cowboys fans say about Dak very lightly, because I think things will change quickly if Dak wins the Super Bowl or even gets them to the Super Bowl, something Romo never did. So I feel like a lot of them are ex-Romo fans and that are diehard Romo fans that feel like Romo was done dirty and that Dak was part of the reason why.
First of all, the team voted Romo out. They wanted Dak to stay in 2016. That was a team vote. So you get mad at Dak all you want. Dak just came in and did his job. Don't forget, Kellen Moore was ahead of Dak on the depth chart, and Kellen Moore got injured. So
look, I totally agree with you. I've never had any hatred or dislike for Dak Prescott. I've said this many times to people that are Cowboys fans or just talking about Dak that I would love to have Dak on our team. I think he's a really good quarterback. Does he make mistakes? Yes. But he's a really good quarterback. But the thing to do right now, if you're in the media, is to hate on the Cowboys. That's what gets you more ratings. That's what gets you more people to tune in. Because if you do what Skip Bayless does, people aren't going to watch your show.
Skip is trash. People don't watch his show anyway.
And that's what they do. Skip Bayless throws it down everyone's throat about Cowboys. Cowboys this, Cowboys that.
He's not even a Cowboys fan like that. He's lying.
99% of the show is Cowboy talk. You know, that's what happens. People aren't going to watch your show. When you kind of have someone who... That's what every show has, basically. A guy that hates the Cowboys, and then there's a guy that loves them.
That's it. It's all about hot takes on the Cowboys and LeBron, and then Brady. That's it. That's all they got. They don't have nothing else to talk about. They don't give you, except when like Ryan Clark or Jay Williams or somebody is on there giving you facts about other people and other stuff. They don't have nothing of value to talk about. It's just all who can say the most outlandish things to get trending on social media, even though it don't make sense.
Yeah, and that's why I don't really watch those shows anymore, because it's all. Like, I like Shannon Sharp, and I think he has some great sports takes sometimes. Sometimes I think he's a big time Brady hater. But he's just like a mini Steven. He hates everything he loves LeBron. You got Skip who hates him or criticizes him. And then you got Skip who loves the Cowboys, and you got
fake love.
Shannon who criticizes. Got the same thing over on ESPN. You got Stephen A. Smith who criticizes the Cowboys, and then you got them who are fair weather and give Cowboys credit when they deserve it. So it's just like that's what you get nowadays on sports. That's why I don't really watch it anymore.
It's trash. So
that's why I'd rather watch like a Pat McAfee who's kind of fair down the middle.
Right, and he talks about everything.
Yeah. So it's just like ESPN and Fox Sports have their own agenda, and like I get it. That's what gets them people to watch, but it also throws people off who don't want to watch their show because it's just the same shit every day.
Yeah, my problem is with the fans who take everything they say to heart and then try to come at us for what we talking about when we actually like bring up facts and we bring up stats and all that to back up what we say, but they look at us like we some idiots because we don't have ESPN or Fox Sports behind our name, and they come talking crazy. Like anytime I post a clip from what we're saying on Facebook, they come talking crazy. Man, you don't know what you're talking about. But I was like, we gave you facts, we gave you stats to back it up. Like everything that I'm talking about, I could give you a stat behind it. But they want to call us crazy when you got these people just yelling stuff. But well, Skip said this, and they literally say that Skip said this. Steve A. Smith, like, bruh, stop talking to me. If you're gonna quote them, you can't talk sports with me at all. So, but let's keep it moving. Let's get to the power rankings, which is probably going to be our last one. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yes, sir. Look, I'm rusty on the power rankings. I forgot of that. Forgot how to do the intro on that one too. Look. What up, Don? So we doing our playoff power rankings now. This is going to be interesting because we could go. We really, you know how we do. We go off of what happened the past week, which is this weekend. But if you want to put in the two teams that didn't play because they had a bye week, we can still rank them as well if you want to do it that way as well. If you still got one of those two teams in your top 5, even though they did not have a game. So, you want to start? You want me to start?
You go ahead.
All right. I'm trying to figure out if I want to put the Eagles and Chiefs in it, even though they ain't played, or do I just want to stick to what happened this weekend? Number 5, I got the Giants. Giants number 5. Number 4. Actually, you know what? Number 5 is going to be the Jags.
Oh, wow.
The Jags. I got the Jags, number 4. Number 5, I'm sorry. Number 4 will be the Giants. I feel like I'm about to mess this up. So I'm trying to think on the fly here. Number 3. Trying to figure out if I want to just put these two teams in here. They didn't play. You know what? I'm not going to use... Let me think. I'm going to just go off of who played. I got the Bengals number 3. So, yeah, I'm going to just go off of who played this past weekend.
Okay.
Number 2, got the Cowboys. And number 1, I got the 49ers. And those are my wild card playoff power rankings, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, Jags, Giants, Bengals, Cowboys, 49ers. And there we go.
All right. Since we're going by who played this weekend, I'm going to go Bills at number 5.
All right.
I don't think I can put the Jags in the top 5. I know they came back and won, but I think that was more on the Chargers than it was on the Jags.
Hey, Jags came back on a couple of teams. They did us like that. They did the Cowboys like that. So.
True. Again, it came down to a dumb pick, though, to get them to win the game. So, number 4, I'm going to go Giants. I think the Giants played very, very well against the Vikings. I pretty much have the rest like yours. 3 Bengals, 2 Cowboys, 1 Niners. I think the Niners, to me, at this very moment, are the best team in the NFC.
And I hate saying it, but it is what it is.
But we'll see. I mean, the Niners have looked really, really good, and all it takes is Brock Purdy to come down to earth. And
he's due for one.
Weekend.
He's due for one.
Yeah. It could happen this weekend or the weekend after. Who knows?
All right, there go the power rankings. Jay Cross said no Bills. Rob said I didn't like how the Bengals played this week. Shout out to Greg P on YouTube. Appreciate you chiming in and coming through. Now let's get into the predictions for the divisional round, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. It's going to be an interesting one. Jaguars at the Chiefs in Kansas City. I got Chiefs all day.
The Jags remind me of TCU. Team that got a good win over a quality opponent, and then are going to get absolutely smashed the next game. Chiefs by a blowout.
Chiefs are favored by 8.5 points. My upset
Chiefs
pick
are
of
going to
the
destroy them.
one of my upset picks of the week: Giants at Eagles. I got the Giants.
Oh,
Eagles are one and done, baby.
I don't see it happening. I think the game will be close. I think the game will be a very competitive game, seeing that it's the third time they're playing. Giants are playing a little bit better than they were against the Eagles last time. I'm going to go Eagles by 3. I think it's going to be a close game.
I saw all I need to see that last season in that regular season game when they barely beat the third string Giants. I got the Giants. He says it's going to be close, but the Eagles still pull it out. Fly, Eagles, fly. Yeah, all right.
I think so. Yeah,
y'all going to be crying.
Eagles, like, again, even if the Giants lose, if you're a Giants fan, you should be hella excited.
Yep, you shouldn't be mad at all.
Future.
At all. So the Wings about to get clipped though. Giants going to the NFC Championship game. The Bengals at the Bills. I got Cincinnati.
Bills. I got the Bills still. Bills at home.
You still believe in them?
I believe in the Bills, man. Until I'm proven wrong, and it could be this week. Excuse me, it could be this weekend. But I have the Bills. I do think it's going to be a close game, but I think Bills win.
I forgot to tell you, Philadelphia is favored by 7.5. The Bills are favored by 5.
7.5.
7.5.
That's a little bit disrespectful.
It's very disrespectful. That's why they're going to lose. The Giants are going to handle the Eagles. The Bengals are going to handle the Bills. And this is a rematch of the DeMar Hamlin game.
What's the Bengals-Bills game?
5, Buffalo.
Okay, that's not bad. See that.
Look, Jay Cross, if I change my mind for 9, I don't care what you do, Jay Cross. I don't care. I expect you to pick them anyway. I don't care. I might end up picking them. But I'm struggling with this one for a couple of reasons. Because once again, I think the 49ers are a better team than the Cowboys. But the Cowboys are going in there with revenge on the brain from last year. Dak is he's on the hot streak. 49ers won 11 straight. Brock Purdy is due to have a bad game. Cowboys fans will be loud in San Francisco just like they were in Dallas last year.
Yeah, they travel well.
So I love the fact that the 49ers and the Cowboys have become a playoff rivalry again. I love it. Let the this reminds me of the 90s when they went back and forth when Dion. Oh, you froze a little bit. There you go. All right. When Dion got away with pass interference on Michael Irvin, and then we snatched Dion from the 49ers, and then we took Charles Haley from the 49ers, and they took Ken Norton from us, and we were just going back and forth in the playoffs.
Funny thing is, the last time Cowboys won a away game before last night was against the Niners.
I know.
Way back then.
And then you got a possibility of the Bills-Cowboys Super Bowl. That better not happen, dude. If that happens, I'm gonna be like, this is scripted. I'm sorry if that because look, you got the Bengals and Bills, the DeMar Hamlin rematch game, the DeMar Hamlin game rematch, which a lot of people forgot about already.
Yeah, true.
It was the Bengals, so they're gonna be on an emotional high, and then you got the Cowboys 49ers, and then no matter what happens, you have 3 of the NFC East teams. You have one NFC East team is going to represent in the national. I'm about to say national championship in the NFC championship game. Like this is 90s.
You know what Buffalo's gonna do? They're gonna bring DeMar Hamlin in next weekend. They're gonna bring him in, and that crowd's gonna be super pumped. It's gonna be a super emotional game because he's there, and the Bills are gonna crush it. Oh, they lost there, and they're gonna crush it. I think they're gonna win. I do see DeMar Hamlin at the game next weekend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I still got the Bengals winning. But the Cowboys 49ers, man, I'm struggling with that one. The 49ers are the better team in my opinion. But it's a lot of factors that go into why the Cowboys could win this game. And I'm going to just be a homer on this one. I ain't going to lie. I'm going to be a homer. Y'all got me on record. The 49ers are the best team in the NFC. But I got the Cowboys with an upset. This is on record.
What's your prediction? Score wise.
it'll be like 27-24 or 28-24. It ain't gonna be no more. I don't think either team scores more than. I don't think either team scores 30.
Okay. I got Niners winning. I think the Cowboys have a chance. Don't get me wrong. It's like they don't have no chance. But the Cowboys got to play like they did against the Bucks. They got to play flawless. They got to get pressure on Purdy. They got to be able to lock down one of their receivers, if it's either Debo or Ayuk, and they're gonna have to stop that running game. So they're gonna have to play very, very flawless on defense. Same thing on offense. They're gonna have to play flawless. They're gonna have to be able to defend the pass rush. They're gonna have to be able to run the ball, which they definitely can with Pollard and Zeke. They got a nice little 1-2 punch going on there. But they're gonna have to really play flawless to beat the Niners, and it's just, to me, the Niners just look like a juggernaut. Like there's just nobody that can beat them right now. And so I think the way to beat the Niners is you're gonna have to outscore them. And I don't know if the Cowboys, I don't know if the Eagles have that offensive power to beat them. I just don't know.
Eagles got it. They're not gonna make it though.
Eagles definitely have some matchup problems for the Niners, and so do the Cowboys. But again, you gotta flip it over to the same script. Do they have the matchups to stop the Niners? So I know that Lamar champion.
Look,
Jesus.
The key here for this game is going to be the Cowboys' offensive line. Can they play like they did last night and give Dak time? If they give Dak time, it'll be a good game for the Cowboys, because the secondary is their weak link in the defense. Like, they could be exposed in the secondary if they have time. If the quarterback has time to throw the ball. So if they get blocked for Dak and give him space and give him a little time to get these receivers open, CeeDee Lamb in the slot and all that, they will be just fine. But the way they use Christian McCaffrey in San Francisco is the same way Dallas needs to use Tony Pollard in this matchup.
All right, okay, Lamar champion, gotcha.
So,
yeah, I mean, Jeff knows more about his team than I do. So I mean, if he feels like they match up well with them, then he knows more than I do. But I just feel like the Niners are just, man, they're just like, you're gonna have to get Brock pretty rattled. That's the thing. Rob. You're gonna have to get that man rattled somehow.
Yeah, they'll do it. I mean,
I think that's the only negative and weak spot on the team is the quarterback, but he's been playing out of his mind.
Yeah, Rob talking about, I don't agree with that. The 2 days is not fair to get extra 2 days off. If you know San Francisco was going to win that game and you decide to put Dallas on Monday and you have San Francisco play on Saturday, like, come on, bro. That would have been BS for Tampa Bay to have to go anywhere after a Monday night game like that. It's just, I hate the Monday night game in the wild card. Like, it should have been just 3 games on one.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do a triple
Sunday.
Header Saturday and Sunday. Like, I don't get that. But I guess they had to maybe it's in the contract that ESPN has to get a playoff game as well. It has to be, because they would have just done 3 games on each day. It has to be in like their contract that ESPN gets at least 1 game.
Bruh, if you get a first round bye, you earned it. So you earned it. So you can't complain about it. They number 1 seed. That's the difference. Everybody in the wild. Yeah, shut up, Rob. I'm finna go there with you. Moving on. I got one more thing to talk about, because this is not really sports related, but I haven't got your opinion on it. And I do want to get your opinion on it. Why do I still have NCAA playoffs on here? See, hold on. And Stephanie McMahon in the corner, but the tradition is Stephanie McMahon. Jesus, I am folding today. But what are your thoughts on Stephanie McMahon leaving the WWE?
I don't know, man. It's a very interesting situation going on in the WWE right now, especially with Vince McMahon trying to get back into the mix, and he's doing everything he can to get back his role, which he had before he was let go or retired or whatever have you. As a WWE fan, I liked the direction they were going with Triple H, and I liked what they were doing. Seeing Vince coming back is a little bit worrisome. Triple H is already trying to, kind of draw the flames down with the whole I'm still part of the creative. There's nothing to worry about. Last word comes to me, but Vince, it seems like he's trying to do everything he can to get back to his original role. He's already trying to make suggestions on certain things, so it's just I'm a little worried, man. I'm not gonna lie. I liked what we were getting on WWE television, and seeing that Vince may show back up and take over the same role he was a couple months ago. I'm not really a big fan of.
Did you see? He no longer needs permission to do what he wants to do.
Yeah, and I saw it on Twitter right before we went online that apparently Vince is getting sued again
by Detroit. Yeah,
for his trying to take over. Detroit Police and Fire Retirement System has sued him, seeking a declaration that would effectively block him from regaining control of WWE's board of directors and prevent him from expediting a sell. So they're like,
I didn't know they was allowed to do that.
It just seems like everybody is trying to prevent him from coming back, and like he's so damn hard-headed that he doesn't want to just go off and ride off into the sunset. It's just, I don't know, man. It's a sticky situation going on over there.
Could you imagine if AEW actually buys WWE after Triple H called them a pissant t-shirt company 4 years ago?
I know a lot of people are saying that Triple H should
start his own company.
Which,
Jeez.
which would be interesting. I mean, obviously, he probably doesn't have the funds to do so. He would need like
I mean, if Create Your Narrative could start a company, Triple H got enough money to start a damn company.
True, he would need to become like a legit big time company. He would need partners and stuff like that. But could you imagine the type of the roster and the people who would go and work for him?
Yeah,
like they would immediately get people to go and work for Triple H. But obviously that's not going to happen. But man, it's just. The AEW thing is funny, but obviously it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I don't see Vince selling to AEW. Only if Vince was promised some sort of control still, and day-to-day operations still went to Vince and such forth and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on at WWE. It's kind of crazy right now.
And see, that's what I was going to ask you. Even whoever they sell to, do you think they still find a way to do the sale but keep their power?
Yeah, I think from what I think they're gonna do is do what UFC did, is sell but keep the same people in power, like how they have Dana White still there running things.
That's trash.
I think they do. I think they do what they did there and have Vince or Triple H or whatever have you keep their same roles.
Scumbag Dana White is. Piece of trash.
Yeah.
Piece of garbage. Gets to walk away scot-free, but he always running his mouth about athletes doing this and doing that and touching women, but you smacking your wife up in the club. Granted, you did get hit first, but you're a grown man. Smacking up your wife in public. You didn't even wait till you got home. You did it in public. And you supposed to be Mr. All High and Mighty, and you just get to keep living your life like ain't nothing happened. Oh, the UFC would die without me, so I have to stay in charge and keep promoting fights, and that's it. You punish yourself. And Stephen A. Smith, who's always talking loud about Kyrie and everybody else, just for a tweet, saw this man slap him, and he's all, yeah, Dana White is my friend, man. He knows I disagree with this. Nah, where's the yelling that you did with Kyrie, calling them bombs and all this other stuff? And how you do with T.O. and whoever else, the black people. Let me just go ahead and throw it out there. Where's your voice and your yelling that you do with the black athletes? And when Kevin Durant went to Golden State, you was yelling till you went hoarse because he joined the Warriors. But Dana White slapped his wife on camera and yeah, obviously, man, it just wasn't a good look. Man, shut up, bro. I don't like that stuff, bro. I don't like that, man. Yes,
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely a lot of hypocrites in the media. I mean,
yeah, man.
it is what it is at this point, you know.
And see, I don't even, Jay Cross like that. I don't even like bringing, you know what I'm saying, race to it. That's why I didn't want to say it, but it's facts. It's just what he does. So, yeah. Anyway, man, but I did want to get your opinion on this Stephanie McMahon thing and throw that in as a bonus, as a bonus topic today. Which I forgot to change out the headline and stuff, but it's on there now. You see Stephanie McMahon, you see the title, so it looks good now if we want to take a photo or whatever of the topics. But yeah, good show, man. Good week. Oh, you say Dana White isn't right? No, what it is, Jay Cross, is Dana White is bringing ESPN money with that deal that they got with UFC Plus. I'm sorry, ESPN Plus. That's what it is. So people at ESPN can't talk about Dana White, but they can shit on Kyrie Irving and take away all his deals and all that. Did Dana White lose any deal? Any sponsor?
Not that I'm aware of.
Nothing. They just moved right on. Like, ain't nothing going. They just, whatever. Because I go into a full rant and then I'll piss people off. Shout out to the people on YouTube. Shout out to the people on Twitch. Make sure you follow Get the Tables on Twitch. Doing a weekly wrestling content. He does watch-alongs with AEW, Raw, SmackDown, and Rampage, I believe. And then we all get together on big pay-per-views with MT Darkness and Hall of Fame All Elite Diamond Dave. His 10 names have himself. So if you're a wrestling fan and you love the wrestling content, hop on Twitch, follow Get the Tables. Sub to the channel is only $5 a month. It might be $6 now the way Twitch is. So it might be $6 now. I think it is $5.99 or something like that. But yeah, man. So support the home, support the friend, support the brand. You know, this guy comes through and shows love all the time. Look, look at this name, LeMat Champion. This is great, dude. He got so many names. Like when I try to tag him in promotions, I was like, I don't even know what to type.
He's already thinking about changing his name again, so it's like shit. So.
Yeah.
We do have a giveaway going on over here on our channel. We do a quiz, wrestling trivia after every watch along.
Nice.
So if you are in the top 3 of the wrestling trivia, you have a chance of getting in our Royal Rumble contest for a pop figurine. So if you guys are interested in the chat to get in on that, come join us tomorrow night, Dynamite. Get a chance to get in on the giveaway. It's a pop figurine of your choice between Charlotte, Flair, or Macho Man. So,
ooh, yeah.
There you go. So get on in that. So,
yeah.
Always appreciate being on the show. That's actually pretty good. Always appreciate you guys allowing me to be on the show. It's always fun. A little bittersweet. But now I can watch football stress-free. Yeah. Just worry about what's going to happen with the Bucks in the offseason.
Yeah, then we're, NBA starting to pick up. Russell Westbrook is under hot water right now for that ending possession against the Philadelphia 76ers the other night. But Joel Embiid did grab his arm, but a lot of people are saying why he didn't kick it out to LeBron or let LeBron take it. And my thought process on that was, well, I'm Russ. I'm an alpha male as well. I'm used to being the star of the team, and I'm always the one guarding the best player on the other team when I got LeBron on my team. So if I'm the one making the defensive stop on Harden, and because look, he switched from Harden to what's the guy name? I just said his name too. I can't. Mine just went blank. What's the center name? Embiid. If I'm the one switching from Embiid to Harden and Harden to Embiid at the end of the game while LeBron is guarding the third best player or the fourth best player on the team, just sitting in the corner, why would I pass him the ball if I'm doing all the work? So LeBron need to step it up too. If people mad at Russ, LeBron need to step up. If you want the ball, go help him make the plays. Don't just stand there in the corner while he's guarding the best players at the end of the game, because he does it a lot. Like he did it against the Mavericks. He was guarding Luka, and Luka was hitting step back threes, and LeBron was just on the other side guarding. What? I don't even know who he was guarding. It wasn't nobody important. because it wasn't Christian Wood, it wasn't Luka, and it wasn't Spencer Dinwiddie. Those are our scores. He say LeBron wasn't even calling. Yeah, he wasn't calling for the ball. Exactly. He likes to blame everybody else and walk off pouting so it can seem like it ain't his fault that the Lakers are losing. D-Web, you coming in right when we about to leave. Jay Cross said he was guarding the bench. Facts. Like he talking to the fans while Westbrook is up here fighting for his life against Embiid right now. Like that's ridiculous, man. So yeah, I don't blame Westbrook for not passing him the ball, but we'll start doing some more NBA stuff once the NFL season wind down. And then by the time the NFL season wind down, it'd be like All-Star break and all that stuff, trade deadlines and all. So we'll have a lot to talk about with the
trade
NBA.
Deadline will be pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's when everything. Oh, I meant to ask you this. Yes, sir. So I meant to bring up the free agents: Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Jimmy G, Teddy Bridgewater, Daniel Jones, Case Keenum, Jacoby Brissett, Geno Smith. All these quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson. All these quarterbacks are free. Who you think are making moves? What teams are you thinking of making a move?
Well,
oh yeah, XFL talk too, Lamar. I'm gonna watch it. I don't know if Tony's gonna watch.
Yeah, we got a team in San Antonio, man. Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, y'all do now. Yeah.
I think Brady's time here is done. I would be super shocked if he returns to the Bucks. I honestly think Bucks. I think Brady goes to Vegas. I think he'll end up in Vegas for one more year. My hope somehow is the Bucks land David Carr or Derek Carr or maybe Lamar. I think we need another quarterback. I don't want to go with Kyle Trask or Blaine Gabbert. That's the last thing I want to see.
Yeah, I might end up with Mayfield.
We can maybe get Mayfield or maybe Garoppolo. Is it? Oh, David Carr. That's it. Sorry, I didn't mean Bucks with Zach Wilson. I could see that too.
Oh no, they better not do that.
But yeah, I think Mayfield gets re-signed. I think he comes back to the Rams. I wouldn't be surprised if Mayfield's the starter for the Rams next year. I think Stafford is done. I think that dude's washed. They'll probably give him.
I would trade him.
I would try to trade him, but I think he's gonna get the start, and they're gonna end up benching him. Garoppolo is obviously gonna be gone. Wouldn't surprise me if Bill Belichick tries to bring him back in. In New England. I think the Colts will be interested in Garoppolo, but they have a good draft pick where they can draft a quarterback. I think that'd be a little bit silly for them to do that. What else did you mention on the list?
Geno Smith. Where you think
Geno Smith? I think gets by the Seahawks. I think they bring him back, and I think they also draft a quarterback and have that quarterback learn under Geno Smith. But you never know. Teams might throw money at Geno. I think they would be foolish to do so. But there will be teams that are desperate out there, like the Bucks. Like you don't know. Like
Washington.
There's so many teams. Washington, Carolina. Like there's so many teams. Atlanta even. There's so many teams that need quarterbacks coming up this season.
Look,
that it's kind of crazy.
Look, Jay Cross, you got some answers for you guys. We need some answers from you. Actually, Javon Hargrave is a free agent, and where he at? I just saw his name. Javon Hargrave on the D line will be a free agent, and James Bradbury will be a free agent if they don't re-sign him. It's another one on that defense that's a big name. I can't think his name. TJ Edwards, which he alright. That's a Chauncey Gardner-Johnson will be a free agent if they don't sign him. So yeah, like you got a lot of question marks on this defense if y'all don't re-sign people. Who is the other guy on the D line? I just saw his name and I cannot find him right now. Brandon Graham. So you got a lot of people to think about, man, with this money about to get tight. And then you got to think about re-signing Jalen Hurts too, so you can't sign everybody.
I agree with Lamar Champion with Detroit. I think they stick with Goff, and either draft a quarterback or next year draft a quarterback. Because apparently next year's draft class is better than this year's.
You say for Detroit?
Yeah, I think they stick. I mean, why? I
mean,
feel
he
like
did a good
Goff,
job. Yeah,
Goff
did a
played
good job.
well enough for them to go another year with Goff. But I think either they'll draft a quarterback or they'll go next year and get a quarterback. Because with Goff, you got to give him another. He played well. Like he didn't play horribly bad. Like it wasn't the reason. He wasn't the reason why they were, they had a bad start.
Yeah, the defense wasn't as good at the beginning of the season.
Their defense is awful. Like Detroit's defense is not great.
Yeah, but they got better at the end. That's why they
did
started
get better.
winning.
Yeah, they did.
They was always putting up points.
Detroit just needs to add a couple of more players, but if do early prediction, I think the Lions win the North next year. I think the Lions. Yeah. I think the Lions will be the best team in that division because they're going to have the weaker. They have the weaker record.
Yeah.
They'll be the third place team, so they'll have a little bit of a weaker schedule than the Packers and the Vikings. So, yeah, I feel like the Lions will be the talk of the town. Are they really going to try out another kicker? I heard that we're going to stick with Maurer.
Nah, he said, because I was saying last night that I'll go out there and kick for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
All the kickers. But yeah, it's a lot of names that we need to look out for. Speaking of, like Baltimore, we have, like I said, we already said Lamar. We got Leighton Vander Esch for the Cowboys. You got Tony Pollard for the Cowboys. You got Marcus Peters, whose contract is up, and he was crying. Like,
oh, really?
Like he was about to leave. Like that was his last game. So Sheldon
Peters is not great though, man.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a reason why the Rams trade him. Like he's a hothead, dude. Like he's a hothead out there, and he's not that great as a corner anymore. He just gets burned a lot. He got eat up by Jamar Chase, and then in them personal foul penalties on stupid shit that he does. Like he's just a hothead.
Yeah, you got Von Bell, safety out of Cincinnati. Evan Ingram. I mean, it's a lot of names, and that's just you got Melvin Ingram as well. So it's a lot of people.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of free agents, a lot of movement. I think obviously the talk will be Brady until he decides where he's gonna go. Josh Jacobs, yep, him. Barkley's a free agent too.
Yep. Saquon.
But they'll re-sign him, and they're gonna give him a monster deal.
Do you think the Chiefs re-sign Juju Smith?
I don't know, man. I don't see why not. I mean, if he signs for, depends. Like, is he gonna ask for a monster deal? Because I don't think he deserves one.
Ooh.
I feel like he'll get I think he'll get picked up, but for like a team-friendly deal.
You got Jonathan Jones, cornerback out of New England, Jadeveon Clowney, who already made it known that he's leaving. Tremaine Edmonds for the Buffalo Bills, linebacker.
I mean, the Bucks got Levante David. He's a free agent.
Marcus Davenport for New Orleans.
Jamel Dean, Bunty, Sean Murthy Bunting. He's a freaking free agent. We got a lot of free agents on the Bucks. It'll be interesting. Who comes back? Who leaves? Who goes where? But like I said, it's not. I think everyone's gonna wait to see what happens with Brady. Like I think once Brady decides what's going on, then the dominoes will fall and we'll see more people getting.
I don't think people are gonna wait on Brady like that.
I don't know. I mean, if you need a quarterback, you will.
Nah, I wouldn't.
If you're the Raiders, I think if you're the Raiders, if you're the Titans, you're probably wondering, hey, all right, you're gonna probably want to know what Brady's mindset is. Hey, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, so we can try and make some moves here. If you're the Raiders, what are you gonna do? You're gonna trade Carr, obviously, but you're probably wanting Brady. Like your hope is to get Brady. So like, what are you gonna do? Like trade Carr and just hope you get Brady, or there's got to be a plan.
That Brady is the last quarterback on my mind if I'm the Jets or 49ers
Jets too,
or the Washington Commanders or Indianapolis. I'm trying to figure out, if I got money, I'm trying to figure out how to get Rodgers, Lamar, Carr, Yeah,
you know what's gonna be the interesting thing is, what if teams go after like interested in Purdy?
Damn.
If teams are gonna go out and maybe try to trade for Brock Purdy.
Yeah, so that's what I meant to ask you too. You think once Trey Lance come back, he get his starting job back?
Like, what do you do if you're the Niners coach?
I gotta see what Brock Purdy does the rest of this season.
Hypothetically, if Brock takes you to the Super Bowl and wins it,
he's starting next week. I'm trading Trey Lance.
Can you not start him next? Like, you gotta stick with Purdy.
Yeah, and I'm trading Trey Lance and if Jimmy G, if he's still under contract, yeah.
Like, there's no way you go back on Purdy if he takes you that far.
Right.
So it's like the Niners are a very interesting situation as well because
what the hell? You just disappeared.
Just
let's see. All right. Let's get
backstage shit's messing up.
Yeah, we go from one thing to another. We started using. All right, I think you're back. Yep, you are. We're good.
Yeah, Niners will have some decisions to make.
If Brock
Garoppolo
Purdy
will be gone, Brock Purdy, what do you do?
If he goes to the NFC Championship game, if he beats the Cowboys and goes to the NFC Championship game, and let's say they lose to the Giants or the Eagles, but he has a good game and it's close, I'm still starting him next year, and I'm trading Trey Lance.
Yeah, or you keep Lance
as a backup.
As a backup.
Yeah, but I think
talk to him, be like,
I think his market would be a little bit higher. If so, at that point.
Oh yeah, people will be interested in Trey Lance. Absolutely. It'll be interesting. It's going to be an interesting offseason for sure.
But too bad they're not going to make the NFC Championship game because Cowboys about to take them out, baby. Let's go, man.
Oh shit.
They the better team, but we're gonna pull the upset. We got revenge on the mind, and we'll see. I think it's gonna be 2 upsets in the NFC, man. That's just me. That's the feeling I got. The gut feeling I got now. We both would have been undefeated in our picks this week if it wasn't for them stupid Chargers blowing a 27-point lead.
Yep.
So we're doing good. If y'all already know what it is, leave your predictions on YouTube. Nobody beat us last week, so ain't nobody getting no gift card for that. I still got to look back 2-3 weeks for the end of the regular season to make sure if anybody beat us on those. But until next time, man, you got anything else you want to promote?
Oh, that's it, man. Thanks for having me on the show. Can't wait for next week. Should be fun.
Yes, sir. Oh, it's going to be an interesting one. Hopefully, I'm in a good mood after the Cowboys get the win. But if not, it is what it is. I'm not disappointed in this Cowboys season at all, no matter what they do next week. Unless they just look like trash next week like they did against Washington. Then I'll be a little disappointed. But just put up a good game, Cowboys. And until next time, we are out of here.
Peace, everyone.
F them Eagles.
Say, bitch, fuck you.
Bruh.
God damn.